Have you ever noticed a change in a loved one's behavior and wondered if they might be struggling with their mental health? Or probably a colleague at work is behaving differently in the past months. It can be tough to know what to look for, but recognizing the signs early can make a world of difference. In today's video, we'll explore the subtle cues that might indicate someone you care about needs support. Today, we're tackling an essential topic: understanding the signs of mental health struggles in those we care about. Whether it's a friend, family member, or colleague, understanding the signs of mental distress can help us provide the support they need. So let's break down some key indicators to watch for and how we can approach these conversations with compassion and care. In today's video, we're going to explore how to recognize common signs of mental health struggles and the challenges we face when trying to offer support. Hello, everyone. My name is Annie. I'm a psychologist and once upon a time, a corporate professional navigating the high-pressure world of business with tight deadlines and the constant demand to perform. After wrestling with my own mental health challenges for several years, I decided to specialize in stress management and resilience. Now, I'm on a mission to help others navigate their tough times, just as I learned to navigate mine. Let's start with recognizing the signs. First things first, how do we know when someone might be struggling with their mental health? Mental health struggles often don't announce themselves loudly. They whisper through subtle changes in behavior, mood, and physical well-being. Additionally, how these signs manifest can vary depending on your relationship with the person, whether they're a friend, a spouse, or a work colleague. Recognizing these signs is the first step in offering meaningful support, so prepare to make some notes. 1. Social withdrawal. You may notice that a person starts declining invitations to social events they once enjoyed or avoids group activities altogether. They might spend more time alone, retreating to their room, or isolating themselves from friends and family. This detachment from social interaction can be a significant change from their usual behavior. As a friend, you might observe that your friend no longer joins group outings, cancels plans frequently, or doesn't respond to calls and messages. They might avoid hanging out altogether, even for activities they used to love. As a spouse, you may notice your partner spending excessive time alone, perhaps in a different room, and showing less interest in shared activities or conversations. They might seem emotionally distant, creating a sense of separation in the relationship. As a work colleague, a coworker might skip team lunches, avoid collaborative projects, or keep interactions strictly professional when they were previously more sociable. They might isolate themselves at their desk and decline after-work gatherings. 2. Changes in sleep patterns. An individual might appear consistently tired or mention difficulties with sleep, such as insomnia or oversleeping. They could struggle to get out of bed in the morning or feel the need to nap frequently during the day. These disruptions in their normal sleep routine can be noticeable signs of underlying distress. As a friend, your friend may cancel morning plans, arrive late due to oversleeping, or seem lethargic during the day. They might mention staying up all night or sleeping excessively. As a spouse, you might observe your partner tossing and turning at night, staying up unusually late, or sleeping much longer than normal. They may have trouble waking up or need naps during the day. As a work colleague, a coworker might arrive late to work, appear drowsy during meetings, or yawn frequently. They might comment about not sleeping well or seem less alert and engaged. 3. Appetite changes. Observable shifts in eating habits may occur, such as eating significantly less or more than usual. A person might skip meals, show a lack of interest in food they once enjoyed, or conversely, engage in overeating or binge eating. These changes can lead to noticeable weight loss or gain over a relatively short period. As a friend, you might notice your friend picking at their food when dining out, skipping meals altogether, or overeating when they didn't before. They may decline invitations to eat together. As a spouse, you may observe that your partner is eating much less or more at home, showing disinterest in meals, or experiencing sudden weight changes. They might avoid eating with the family. As a work colleague, a coworker might skip lunch breaks, eat alone, or snack excessively throughout the day. They might no longer participate in shared meals or seem uninterested in food-related office events. 4. Mood swings. You might observe sudden and uncharacteristic changes in their emotional state. They could become irritable or angry over minor issues, or swing from being upbeat to feeling down without a clear reason. These fluctuations can be confusing and may strain relationships with others. As a friend, your friend might react unpredictably during conversations, becoming upset or irritable over small comments. They may withdraw from interactions without explanation. As a spouse, you may notice your partner experiencing highs and lows in mood, snapping over insignificant matters, or displaying unprovoked anger or sadness. As a work colleague, a coworker might overreact to constructive feedback, become easily frustrated with tasks, or exhibit uncharacteristic emotional responses during meetings. 5. Loss of interest in hobbies. The person may stop participating in activities or hobbies that used to bring them joy. For instance, they might no longer attend their favorite exercise class, neglect a musical instrument they used to play regularly, or lose interest in creative pursuits like painting or writing. As a friend, you might observe that your friend no longer engages in hobbies you used to share or discuss. They may seem indifferent when you suggest activities they once loved. As a spouse, your partner might stop participating in personal interests or joint hobbies, spending more time disengaged or idle. They might neglect routines that were once important to them. As a work colleague, a coworker may withdraw from extracurricular groups or clubs associated with work, such as a sports team or book club, showing less enthusiasm for activities outside of job responsibilities. 6. Fatigue and low energy. They might consistently appear drained or physically exhausted even after adequate rest. Simple tasks could become challenging, and they may move or speak more slowly than usual with lots of ahs. This persistent fatigue can impact their daily functioning and overall productivity. As a friend, your friend may seem lethargic during social interactions, preferring low-energy activities or expressing a constant need to rest. As a spouse, you might notice your partner lacks the energy for household chores, family activities, or physical intimacy. They may spend excessive time resting or sleeping. As a work colleague, a coworker might appear sluggish, take frequent breaks, or struggle to keep up with their workload. They may seem physically drained during the day. 7. Difficulty concentrating. The individual may have trouble focusing on tasks, conversations, or decision-making processes. They might seem forgetful, frequently lose track of what they were saying, or make mistakes they normally wouldn't. As a friend, your friend might drift off during conversations, forget plans you've made, or struggle to follow the thread of discussions. As a spouse, your partner may have trouble focusing on important decisions, forget appointments or commitments, or seem mentally absent during interactions. As a work colleague, a coworker may miss deadlines, produce work with errors, or require instructions to be repeated. They might seem unfocused in meetings. 8. Irritability or restlessness. You may notice that they're more easily agitated, snapping at others, or expressing frustration over trivial matters. They could also display restlessness, such as constant fidgeting, pacing, or an inability to relax. In such phase, they will be excessively multitasking. As a friend, your friend might become impatient during activities, react sharply to minor annoyances, or seem unable to sit still when hanging out. As a spouse, your partner may express frustration over small household issues, become easily annoyed, or pace around the house. As a work colleague, a coworker might display irritability during teamwork, react negatively to routine requests, or appear restless at their workstation. 9. Physical complaints without clear cause. The person might frequently complain of unexplained physical ailments like headaches, stomach aches, or muscle pains. Despite medical evaluations, no clear physical cause is identified. As a friend, your friend may often mention feeling unwell, cancel plans due to physical discomfort, or seek reassurance about their health. As a spouse, you might notice your partner frequently visits doctors without definitive diagnoses, uses medications more often, or complains about persistent aches and pains. As a work colleague, a coworker might take more sick days, frequently mention not feeling well, or appear physically uncomfortable without an apparent reason. 10. Feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt. They may express a negative self-image, voicing thoughts that they're not good enough or that they've let others down. This could involve dwelling on past mistakes or feeling disproportionately responsible for events outside their control. As a friend, your friend might make self-deprecating comments, apologize excessively, or express feelings of being a burden to you. As a spouse, your partner may doubt their role in the relationship, blame themselves for any issues, or express that they don't deserve happiness. As a work colleague, a coworker might undervalue their contributions, express fear of failure, or take blame for team setbacks that aren't solely their responsibility. And last, but not least, one of the most common and most obvious to observe as an external: increased use of substances or behaviors as self-medication. One very common sign is when people begin to rely on substances or excessive behaviors as a form of self-medication to escape emotional pain or stress. As a friend, you might notice your friend drinking more heavily at social events, arriving intoxicated, or frequently suggesting activities that involve substance use. They may also become engrossed in excessive gaming or gambling, withdrawing from social interactions and seeming distant. As a spouse, you might notice that your partner started to drink every day, perhaps hiding bottles or being secretive about their usage. They may misuse prescription drugs, spend excessive hours exercising to the detriment of family time, or immerse themselves in gaming, isolating themselves from you and other family members. As a coworker, you might detect the smell of alcohol on their breath, observe them using substances during work hours, or notice them withdrawing from team engagements. Or they told you that they need to take several tranquilizer during the day in order to cope with pressure. These behaviors indicate they might be attempting to escape their own life and pain through self-medication. Probably they don't need a tranquilizer, but are taking performance-enhancing drugs. The challenges we face. Now, let's talk about why it's so hard to reach out. Many of us worry about saying the wrong thing, not knowing enough about mental health, making the situation worse, or just not feeling it is your responsibility or because of cultural differences. You don't want to appear too pushy or personal. But here's the thing, your support can make a significant difference. Usually, people who do have some mental health struggles show similar behavior in all areas in their life. Some of them hide their symptoms in front of one or more of the areas. For example, if a woman who is responsible for the money-making in the family suddenly feels burned out or depressed, would probably hide this in front of the own family in order not to make them worry. Or a person that is an extrovert and having a great social life and many friends would suddenly prefer not to show the anxiety or depression face in front of the friends because it will ruin the image the others have about them. As we wrap up, remember that mental health can look different for everyone. What might be a sign for one person may not be the same for another. The key is to stay observant and compassionate of any long-lasting behavioral changes in your loved ones. If you notice any signs, don't hesitate to reach out. Your support could be a lifeline. In our next video, we'll be focusing on practical and effective ways to communicate and be there for those who need us. So, make sure to subscribe Unstress Me and hit the notification bell so you don't miss it. Together, we can create a supportive community where everyone feels heard and valued. I invite each of you to make well-being your superpower. Imagine a world where mental health is prioritized, where individuals thrive, and organizations flourish because they've embraced the full potential of their people. No matter what your mental health looks like, you are not